Hi everybody, today I'm gonna talk about the invasive species impact on the Galapagos Islands. The Galapagos Islands are located in the Pacific Ocean, 600 miles west of Ecuador, which is on the western coast of South America. Here we have a beautiful picture on the Galapagos Islands. But what happened is that during all this time, the population of this big and beautiful ecosystem has been affected by new introduced species. They came along with the colonists and the population that settled on the island. One of the main problems and one of the main concerns of the scientists is the rat, because the rats are one of the most damaging invasive species. They came along to the islands in boats and on ships from pirates that arrived from the end of the 17th century onwards. The main ones are the black rats and the Norwegian rats. They are still found on many boats that visit the islands, and there is always a danger of new introductions. At present, invasive rats are found on whole inhabited islands, as well as Santiago Islands, which is this big island, and many small islands. Here also we have the distribution of these rodents across the years and the different kinds of it. But what's the main problems? Then they adapt really easily to the harsh environments such as lava fields. And these two species of rodents, especially Norwegian rats and black rats, together with pigs and goats, are among the most damaging introduced species to native ecosystems. For this reason, with the objective of achieving the complete ecological recovery of one of the important islands in the Galapagos National Park, which is Santiago, this one, pigs is now being eradicated, the goat eradication is entering the final stage, and eradication of the introduced rodents is the next step, which are the black rats. They adapt easily to the environment, and they obtain food from many sources, such as fruit, seeds, and trash. They also feed on tortoises' eggs right in here, if you can see. And so they affect the reproduction of the tortoises. So we can say that they affect the whole island. And it's not just Santiago, which is one of the inhabited ones, but even the main one, which is Isabella. As you can see, they affect also the coasts, because it's right here when the tortoises decide to leave their eggs right on the sand, and the rats start digging into the sand, and they found them and they reproduce them. So one of the main factors that affects the population of the islands is the food and water availability, because it's not about just rats. We can talk about also goats and tortoises, because they share the same kind of food. Or also we are talking about predation, because the sea lions in this area, but everywhere also, are considered one of the most famous predators. Here we have a really beautiful picture of a sea lion. They're super nice, but the thing is that they affect, because they affect the ecosystem, because they feed on other fishes on the coral reef, such as this picture shows, a sea lion that is chasing other fishes. And it's not only about predation and food and water availability. We have also an environmental change, El Niño, which every time it brings away from the small birds seeds, so the small seeds are gone. And what happens is that then the birds cannot feed, like the birds with small beaks, as this one, which is famous of his kind, a famous one of this kind. And so what happens is that also the environmental change affects the population, because then there are no small seeds, so the small birds with small beaks cannot eat, and so they will be in danger. This will be a kind of species in danger. So we can say that overall the population is affected and has been affected after and before the introduction of invasive species. Because why? Because before there were all just environmental change, but then there were also introduction of new species.